Welcome, chacales. Welcome, calaveras. Come closer. The last daylight. Y remember mi mamá smiling. That is where the memory starts for me. Not with el fuego, not with the screaming, not with those men who came later, speaking words no Christian tongue had any right to speak. No. It starts outside. Midday, maybe a little after. El sol was still high, but Sol, touching the courtyard of la casona like it did not know what was coming. The wind moved gentle through the arches, lifting my mother's hair from her shoulders while she stood near the fountain. I remember the way her dress moved. I remember the light on her face. I remember thinking, in the simple way a niño thinks, that mi mamá was the most beautiful woman Dios had ever made. She caught me staring and smiled. ¿Qué miras, mijo? I shrugged like I had been caught stealing pan dulce from the kitchen. Nada. She laughed. Ay, that laugh. Soft. Warm. The kind of laugh that made the whole house feel less heavy. I was Luciano Ballesteros then. Just a boy. Dusty boots, scraped hands, too much energy and not enough manners for a family like ours. Our hacienda sat behind high walls, thick stone and old wood, with a gate so heavy I used to believe nothing bad could come through unless my father allowed it. Así piensan los niños. Children believe walls are promises. The servants moved in and out of the kitchen. Somewhere, someone was cutting fruit. Somewhere near the stables, a horse stamped and shook its head. The fountain kept whispering in the middle of the courtyard, and mi mamá kept watching me like she wanted to remember me exactly like that. Then the gate opened. Heavy wood. Iron hinges. That sound rolled through la hacienda. I turned. Mi papá came in from the road. Don Rafael Ballesteros. To other men, he was patron. Don Rafael. A man you did not interrupt. A man whose name carried weight from the church steps to the farthest fields. But to me, he was Papa. And that afternoon, when he came through the gate, he did not look like Papa. Not at first. His coat was dusty, his hat sat low, his jaw was tight, and his right hand stayed close to the revolver at his side. He looked once behind him before the gate closed. Quick, almost nothing. But I saw it. Los niños see more than grown men think. Mi mamá saw it too. Her smile changed before it disappeared. Rafael? My father looked at her. Then he looked at me. For one breath, he pushed the worry down. I know that now. He buried it under his face, under that hard Ballesteros pride. He came to me, rested one hand on my shoulder, and pulled me close. Ahí está, he said, mi muchacho. He hugged me harder than usual. I remember that. He smelled like dust, leather, tobacco, and the heat from outside. His heart was beating fast against my ear. Too fast. "What's wrong, Papa?" I asked. He pulled back and touched my cheek. "Nada, mijo. Nothing. Only asuntos de la casa. You stay close to your mother, see?" I nodded. He looked like he wanted to say more, pero no. He only kissed my forehead, touched my mother's hand as he passed her, and went inside la casona. Mi mamá watched him go. The wind moved again. The fountain kept whispering, and the day kept pretending todo estaba bien. That is what hurts me now. Not that I did not know. I was a child. How could I know? But la casa knew. The walls knew. The saints in their little painted corners knew. By night, the air had changed. It was close to 9, maybe later. Dark enough that the courtyard outside my window had become only shapes and sombras. I was in my room, half-dressed for bed, still angry because mi mamá had made me wash before sleeping. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, rubbing one foot against the other, listening to the quiet. Then came the crash. Outside, far at first. Wood breaking, metal striking stone, a horse screaming. I stood there, frozen. A second crash came from deeper inside la hacienda. Then footsteps, fast, heavy, coming down the hall. My door opened so hard it struck the wall. Mi papa stood there with his revolver all revving his hand. "Luciano," he said. "Ben, now." I had never heard his voice like that. Not loud. Worse. Controlled. Like if he raised it even poquito, something inside him would break loose. He grabbed my hand and pulled me from the room. I stumbled, trying to keep up. Mi mamá came from the other side of the hall, still tying the front of a rope, her hair loose around her face. "¿Qué pasa?" she asked. My father did not answer. "Rafael." Not now. He moved fast, pulling me with him. Mi mamá followed. She did not ask again. That was when I knew fear had entered our house for real. Mi mamá was not a quiet woman. If she stopped asking questions, it meant she already knew the answer was terrible. We went through the back hall, past the family portraits, past the little table where my mother kept candles for los muertos. Somewhere behind us, men shouted. Not servants, not our men, strangers. My father pushed open the door to his study. Inside, he shoved the rug aside and pulled at a panel beneath the shelves. A hidden door opened in the wall. I had never seen it before. The space beyond was small, dark, and made of stone. A room for hiding. A room for secrets. A room built by men who knew one day the walls might not be enough. Mi papa looked at mi mamá. For a moment, they only stared at each other. Then he took her face in his hands and kissed her. Not soft, not like in the courtyard. Like a man trying to put a whole life into one breath. "Perdóname," he whispered to my mother. She shook her head. "No. Quédate con él. Rafael, no. Con él." Another crash shook the house. Closer, Kerr. Dust fell from the ceiling. Mi papa looked at me. He knelt. put both hands on my shoulders, and tried to smile. He failed. Mijo, listen to your mother. Do exactly what she says. Papa, come with us. I will. He kissed my forehead. I love you. That was the last lie mi papa ever told me. Behind him, something massive broke in the hall. My father turned. Chingada madre. He pushed me into the hidden room. Mi mama followed and pulled me against her chest. My father stood outside the doorway. Revolver lifted now. His face no longer afraid, only angry. Then he closed us in. Darkness swallowed everything. For a moment, all I could hear was mi mamá breathing above me. Está bien, mijo. She whispered to me, trying to comfort me in the uncertainty of a sudden, quiet, dark space. I have you. Aquí estoy. I have you. And I believed her. Because children believe their mothers, even when the world is ending. Then someone screamed. A gunshot followed. One. A pause. Another. Two. Mi mamá held me tighter. Three. The fourth shot came almost on top of the third. Then, nothing. No voices. No footsteps. No father. Only silence. Mi mamá covered my mouth with her hand before I could cry out. I felt her shaking. That frightened me more than the gunshots. She leaned close to my ear. No hagas ruido, she whispered. Not one sound. Then came movement outside the wall. Fast, too fast. Something scraped across the floor. Furniture broke, glass shattered. There was a sound like nails dragging over wood. Then a voice. I did not understand it. Not Spanish, not English, not the Latin from Misa. Older, drier. The words crawled under the door like smoke. Mi mamá crossed herself in the dark. That was when I smelled it. Fuego. At first, only a little. Like a candle blown wrong. Then stronger. Smoke slipped through the cracks of the hidden door. The stone room warmed. Slowly at first, then not slowly. The air grew thick. My throat closed. My eyes burned. Mama, I tried to say, but her hand was still over my mouth. I know, she whispered. Ya sé. She kicked the hidden door. Once, twice, again. I joined her. Small feet against old wood. Crying now, coughing, kicking because there was nothing else to do. The room grew hotter. The smoke grew blacker. Mi mamá wrapped part of her robe over my mouth and pushed me behind her. Then the hidden door was torn away. Not opened, torn. Light and smoke rushed in together. A hand reached through and closed around my throat. Cold fingers. Strong fingers. I could not breathe. Mi mamá screamed and grabbed me, but another shadow moved low and fast. Something caught her by the leg and ripped her away from me. Her nails scraped across the stone. She reached for my hand. I reached back. We missed. I was dragged out of the hidden room and into the burning study. La Casona was gone. Not all of it, not yet, but the house I knew was gone. The curtains were burning, the shelves cracked and spat sparks, the portraits bubbled on the walls, the saints were black with smoke, watching everything with dead, painted eyes. Mi papa lay in the middle of the room. His revolver was still in his hand. His eyes were open. I called to him in my head, "Papa." But no sound came out. The thing holding me lifted me from the floor. He wore a dark coat, a wide hat, silver at his throat. His face was pale beneath the smoke, too calm for a man standing inside a burning house. Then he looked at me. His eyes were gold, like fire trapped behind glass. He said something in that old language again. The others answered from the smoke. I did not understand the words, but I understood one thing. They had come for me. Mi mama screamed from somewhere behind me. Not my name this time, just pain. The kind of scream that does not ask for help, because it already knows help is dead. I fought then. Dios, I fought. I kicked, I bit, I clawed at the hand on my throat. I tried to turn back toward her. I tried to become heavier than a child could be. It did not matter. The man carried me through the broken study, through the hall, through the front doors of my father's house. Outside, the night air hit my face. Behind me, mi mama screamed again from inside the flames. And inside the memory, somewhere far away, a boy screamed for her. But the man I am now does not. I have lived too long to give that sound back to the world. I will only tell you this. They took me from El Fuego. They took Luciano Ballesteros. And many years later, after the boy had been buried beneath blood, manners, hunger, and silence, something returned, wearing his face. Don Lucian de Velo.
Otros nacen